What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Tuesday. We had a nice 8-game slate here tonight. Last night was up and down with the plays. We had some really good plays with Jimmy Butler, Drew Holiday, Gary Harris, and also Noah Vonleh was pretty solid. But the other two guys were absolutely terrible, and Damian Lillard and Kelly Olynyk. Lillard got into foul trouble in the first half, and he wasn't very active and didn't score it really at all. So that really sucked. In the second half, he was getting it going. But then when they pulled him out, the bench did really well, so he didn't come in until there was like 6 minutes left, and they were already up, and he didn't really do much after that. So that was a really disappointing game from him. I was expecting a lot more. And then Kelly Olynyk just couldn't find his range. I guess the guy hates me every time I recommend him. Like, he is absolutely god-awful. And he only played 16 minutes after starting because he was playing so bad. So that was really disappointing as well. I thought the opportunity was there against the Kings, but he let me down. But let's see if we can have a more balanced approach here with my money 6 here tonight. So go ahead and drop a like in the video if you're enjoying the content, and keep it coming your way every single day. And also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I got a giveaway coming up at 7,000 subscribers. I think we're around 40 away, around 50 subscribers. So if you want to speed that up, definitely subscribe to the channel, and if you want a chance at winning that giveaway. So let's get into it, though. I'm going to go with the balanced approach here on this slate and go with the Kemba Walker first up, a guy that's had actually one of the highest usage rates out of any player this year. He's been chucking up a lot of shots. Like, if you look at his game logs, he has 31 shots in his last game, 18, 14, 22, like 31, like 29. The guys has been very active on the offensive end. And in this matchup against Miami, he threw up 31 shots. He got it going from 3, 39 points, and 58 DraftKings points to show for. And Miami has had some weak defense against point guards and shooting guards. So I think Kemba Walker will be very active again here in this matchup. They're coming off a back-to-back, Miami that is, so they could be a little bit tired, and that means Hassan Whiteside could see some less minutes, so that means their rim protection could be gone there. Kemba could drive a little bit more and get that three-point range going, as they're a little bit tired maybe in the defensive end. So 8,300. I think he can flirt with 45 to 50 DraftKings points here. Again, his usage is just so high, and his ability to throw up shots is really good. And if he gets hot, he can return a ton of upside, which we've seen this year with 60, 58, and 55 DraftKings points. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first guy. And then I'm going to go with Tobias Harris, probably the best matchup on paper for the Clippers against OKC. Their defense against power forwards has not been that good. And Tobias Harris, he's benefited with the more rebound opportunities. I mentioned this earlier in the year, actually in the same exact matchup, where I thought he'd have the ability to get some more rebounds with a guy like DeAndre Jordan gone, and now him taking over that Blake Griffin kind of role. So he can get a double-double here again and be very active on the offensive scoring end and get over 20 points. And that will be enough, I think, with like a 25 and like 10 or something similar than he did against OKC earlier this year, for him to get around 40 DraftKings points. So really a solid play, I think, here. OKC does have some solid guard defenders in Russell Westbrook and Paul George. So that could mean Tobias Harris will get some more opportunities again in this game, maybe around 20 shots. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. And then we're going to go with TRAE Young. He let me down in the last time I went with him against Chicago. He wasn't able to get it going much from the field. But it seems like he's just much more comfortable, for whatever it's worth, on the road. If you look at his game log here, he's really struggled at home against Dallas, Chicago. Actually, no, I think I recommended them against Dallas, but he struggled against Chicago, Dallas, and well, those are the only 2 games at home. But on the road, he's done a little bit better with some game. 40 against Memphis, 60 against his Cavs team, and 26 against Philly, which wasn't that bad. It was a blowout there. But I think just against this Cavs team, they're probably like the worst team defensively, just looking at the numbers. They're allowing a 51% field goal, or 51 field goal percentage, and a 42 three-point percentage on the field. So they're giving up a lot of looks, and a guy like TRAE Young, who is going to be throwing up a lot of threes, can definitely get hot again in this matchup. So at 7,200, and he has been given the ability to get a good amount of assists. So if he can score around 20 points in the field and get us around like 8 to 10 assists, he can return a good amount of value at 7,200. Going against the Cavs defense, like I said, that's been allowing a lot from the field, and especially to point guards that can shoot some threes. So a really good spot for Trae Young. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. He's due for an eruption in this game. And for my fourth guy, Carmelo Anthony here, with James Harden out, also James Ennis out. Carmelo Anthony will be back in the starting lineup, and he will be chucking up a lot of shots here again. He does have some risk, as he can be a little bit hot and cold, I would say, and he can miss a lot of shots. But if he gets it going here in a good matchup against Portland, I think he can have a really good game. Portland does struggle against small forwards, so Carmelo Anthony can definitely get some good looks here. And Chris Paul is a guy that does like to feed his teammates for a lot of like easy, good looks. So if he can just take advantage of this matchup, and he's getting a solid amount of minutes. Like, he got 39 minutes against Utah. This game against the Clippers, he got 34 minutes, but they actually pulled their starters with around 5 minutes to go. So he could have gotten around like 38 minutes again in that game. So 5,300, really solid value. I think he should be able to get it going in this matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. Let's see if he can keep it going tonight. And for my final guy, I'm going to go with Aaron Gordon here at 6,800. He's been very disappointing in the last few games with 19, 27, and 21. But the thing here is that his price has dropped drastically due to that. Like, it was around 8,000 at the beginning of the year. And I think he can bounce back in this spot. I mean, he has that huge upside when he is clicking from the field, like 50, 47 DraftKings points in 2 out of the first 3 games. It's just that he hasn't been able to find his range and be able to get many rebounds for whatever reason in the last few games. So in this spot here, against the Kings, they're coming off a back-to-back. They could be a little bit tired, and their defense against power forwards is not that good. I recommended Kelly Olynyk yesterday. It's just that he couldn't get the range going. So I think a guy like Aaron Gordon could be a little bit better here at home, find that stroke, and be able to return some more upside. We know that the Magic, they want him to get it going. He's the future of their team, so this is a really good spot for him to bounce back, and he was able to bounce back with this worst game of the season against Charlotte. He shot 2 for 9, only 27 DraftKings points. In the next game, he was able to go off against Philly for 47 DraftKings points. So let's see if he can bounce back here again. I love the price of 6,800, given his upside of 40 to 50 DraftKings points. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy of the core 5. And for my value guy, I'm going to take a hunch here. I think COLLIN Sexton could get some more run in this matchup against Atlanta. They just fired Ty Lue, and a guy from Yahoo actually came out and said that the main reason why he was fired is that he wasn't really committed to giving the younger guys more run than what they were getting. So that means I would think that the new guy that's taking over the team would want to give a guy like COLLIN Sexton some more run to kind of make the front office a little bit happy about it, and they can like tank and still get their younger guys some good experience. So a guy like COLLIN Sexton, he's their #1 kind of project and #1 future guy that they have in their team. As they just drafted him on the 8th pick last year. And he showed off some good ability. Like, he's not getting many minutes at all, 25, 25, and 23. And he's still been able to drop double-digit points in the field in all those games, shooting pretty well from the field. And this is a really good matchup against Atlanta. He did struggle against them earlier this year, but I think that was just a little bit of a hiccup. I think he can bounce back. Atlanta doesn't have great defense either, and they don't have great rim protection. So I think a guy like COLLIN Sexton could have a bounce-back performance here and find that ability to score, possibly get closer to the 28 minutes he saw against them earlier this year, and show off that ability. I mean, they really got to prepare for the future now. This season is already a lost year. I think they're like, 0-6 or something like that. So it's not looking good. Got to tank and successfully get your guys the experience they need to get. So at 4,000, I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. Hope for 25-plus DraftKings points from him. And that is it for the plays. You got KEMBA Walker, Tobias Harris, Carmelo Anthony, Trae Young, Aaron Gordon, and COLLIN Sexton. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to slap a like in the video like I said, and definitely subscribe to continue to get these plays every single day. And you can also follow me on Twitter at MoneyWebby for any updated plays. Like yesterday, I tweeted out about how I like Julius Randle and also Chris Middleton after the news came out with Anthony Davis and Giannis out. Middleton kind of struggled. He was pretty good, I guess, based on the stats perspective. but I was expecting a little bit more out of him. But Julius Randle really balled out, so that was nice to see. So I hope you guys do well here tonight. Good luck on the slate, and we'll see you back here again next time.